The audience.
The incredible scene, Leo, where you're trying to find your car and making your way to your car.
Oh.
I mean,
It's Buster Keaton.
well, I'd like to know, because, you know, everyone's grabbing, who was that? Who was that? Was that Jerry Lewis, 𝗖𝗢𝗟𝗘𝗖𝗖𝗍𝗂𝗧𝗏, you know, Buster Keaton? You know, first of all, what might have been examples for that? Because it's just one of the most brilliant pieces of slapstick and comic acting I've seen. And then, how many times did you shoot that? Is another one. But what was your inspiration for the scene? Who did you think about when you did that?
I thought I had a guy on YouTube that I watched. It was entitled "The Drunkest Man in the World," but it was not just the fact that he was, you know, sort of elasticated and trying to get. It was his motivation which really intrigued me, because there was nothing. He had one singular goal, and that was to get a beer out of the 7-Eleven, and it took him a half an hour, and he was writhing around the floor. Just trying, and the guys watching him, and people are scratching their heads saying, "What are you doing?" And he just wouldn't stop reaching for something that was a life-sustaining force for him. And I remember Jordan describing to me when I was talking with him about what it was like being on Quaaludes, because I've never done it. And he said, "Look, you think that you're operating the same, but the mechanics of what your brain thinks and what your body actually physically manifests are two entirely different things. So you think you're a normal, logical human being that's got, you know, that is, you know, walking forward, but you're doing something entirely different." And I remembered this YouTube thing, so I sort of watched that obsessively. And then it became kind of like a 2001 Space Odyssey thing. I was this primordial beast crawling towards this futuristic space machine. Yeah. But the way Marty holds it, it's just this wide shot, and he just waits for me to crawl there. It took forever, though. It took like 10 minutes for me to writhe over to that.
Yeah, we trimmed the head of the shot, I remember. And
then, of course, we didn't realize that the car door went up this way.
The car door opened up.
It didn't go this way, so I had to figure out how to get my...
So should I try with my foot? And that's when he reminded me of Jerry Lewis.
Yeah.
Jerry doing that thing with his body, because he's very long. And then when he got in the car to answer, then I had to cue the phone to ring in the car, just at the right moment when he finally got the door open and he relaxed. And suddenly, ring, you know, and he goes, "Ugh," and he gets up and he crawls into the car. And what we didn't plan on, but was perfect, was that his feet were outside the car, outside the door. And so the car looked like a face, like the face, and the 2 feet were the conversation that he was having on the phone with his wife. "Where are you?" You know? And so all of that just held the shot. We did only a couple of takes. And I said, "That's it, there was no coverage."
But that was the shot. He had shot listed that entire sequence to a T. I mean, this was one of your favorite sequences in the entire film. So the whole rig where I sort of fall down and smash my head, the idea that, you know, which took a lot of practice to get the idea that I would speak in a normal language, the other guy on the other line would react, say, "What the hell did you say? I can't understand you." Then he'd cut back to me and be like, you know what I mean? He had planned that quite meticulously, every sort of beat of that shot.
The use of a medium frame as opposed to a close-up on that. Using the wider frame is better in a comedy. You know, it's the old
the truth. Fuck you talking.
Wait a minute. Where you taking him? Fuck you taking? Let's go. Where you taking him? You ain't got no warrant. Just come up in people's house like that. I'm sorry.
Did you drive your car tonight, Mr. Balfour?
Well,